And I also think related to this whole idea of female camaraderie and having a boyfriend for 4 years of high school is this notion that I've heard you talk about of showing up. And showing up can mean a million different things. But in my house, showing up is crucial. My husband and I have taught our kids, you show up for yourself, you show up for your friends, you show up for acquaintances. That's just what you do. It might be annoying to have to go to a friend's piano recital, but guess what? We're doing it, and you're doing it. Because if no one showed up for other people, there wouldn't be anyone for that person. And we're doing it. And I've heard you talk about it. So do you want to tell us why it's important to you? And you also have another definition of showing up, meaning showing up for something even if it's not exactly what you're expecting it to be, like a small part in a role or something.
Right. There's a book out that I just read called The Surrender Experiment.
Yes, I have that on my nightstand. I haven't read it yet.
It's really interesting. In this, and this harkens back to what you said, this man daily would wake up, kind of surrender his life to the universe. It sounds very wacky doodle, but it's really great.
It's great.
And he would surrender, and whoever would come in his life that day, he would follow it. He would follow it. So someone eventually, he would meditate every day and just say, I'm open to the universe. Who's going to come in? Guide me. Someone comes in and says, can you write computer programs for me? He goes to their office and starts writing computer programs. And now he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars because that led to this. That yes led to that. So he just kept saying yes to the next thing, right? And it led to this beautiful, gorgeous career, but also creating a sanctuary for meditation, which is a big part of my life, is meditating. So in terms of showing up for people, I think you have to say, also, do I like this person? Because you can't show up for everybody.
No, you
right?
can't. You can't.
You can't. So you have to say, as I keep it real lean, I've got that core group that are family to me. They're not even in the friendship category.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Family. We are all in together. We're, I mean, I had a spider bite and I'll pull my pants down and say, what kind of spider is it? Would you tell me? With my friends? It's that. So showing up it's crucial. Yeah, it is crucial. Being there for someone and also being there for them on the myriad of emotions that they're feeling. So, being there for, yes, happy days, but also sad days, also days they've been rejected through their divorce, through their child suicide.
And sometimes it's a response and sometimes it's just listening and just nodding your head and they just know that you're listening. You may not even have a piece of advice.
Right.
It's just like an ear, like no judgment. Somebody's listening to me. And I think the two definitions of the showing up are important because they're related but different things. There's like one where you're showing up for a friend, showing up for family, being supportive. Instead of texting on someone's birthday who's your best friend, you pick up the phone and you call them. Like there's some old school shit that we got to get back to.
Love the old school. Bring it out. Let's go vintage. Or or you go and
buy a card. What a concept.
Oh, I love mail.
I know, me too.
Love the mail people who come and bring a card. I love the thank you note, Sarah.
I know. It's like, wow, this person like took a minute to get the note, write the letter, buy a stamp. It's so old school, but it has so much more meaning to it and so many layers.
It really does. And in times of COVID, just, everybody, especially friends that are single, going, I'm going to go pick up some tacos and I'm going to be at your house at 6:30 tonight. We're going to sit outside and I'm bringing tacos. Mm-hmm. Just the action of showing up for people.
Yes.
And for me, that has been keeping it lean so that I can be. I mean, I don't follow that many people on Instagram by design. I keep it kind of lean and mighty so I can really be present for either people in social media world or my friendships. I like to make sure it's lean and tight, and that way we can just be all cuddled together and go through this together.
Yeah, and I do love the other definition of showing up in terms of like the synchronicity thing, like you were talking about with the surrender experiment, because like even for you, like you might get asked or you might audition for some small role And then, like you said, you're like, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to go to that. But you end up showing up and going to it, and then it turns into something else, or they create a different part for you that's even bigger. And I
Right.
think it's so important with self recreation, and for people like me and the listeners out there, is sometimes things seem so small. Like, why am I going to do a volunteer job? Like, nobody's going to care. But you go to that volunteer job, you go twice, and you realize that you can design a whole program for them. And it's sort of like this synchronicity of doors of just putting yourself out there. It's like throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. I mean, that's not really a nice way of saying it, but it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.